All right, number 11. We've only got 3 more to go. What did the tomb visitors do next? What was their next action? And this is one that you might consider to be, I think would consider to be more of a challenge than some of the other ones that we've covered so far. Did they run to tell the disciples? Matthew 28. So they departed quickly from the tomb with fear and great joy and ran to tell his disciples. And behold, Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." And they came up and took hold of his feet and worshiped him. So did they go to tell the disciples, or did they say absolutely nothing? You know, dead men tell no tales. And they decided to say nothing. And they went out and fled from the tomb, for trembling and astonishment had seized them, and they said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. Which one was it? This on the surface seems like a bold contradiction. It does. It appears that way. This is what we call an apparent contradiction. It appears. So let's look at this. Now, infidels.org offers a third option, which it tries to present as though it is a third completely different option. In Luke 24, they returning from the tomb, they told all these things to the 11 and all the rest. As if that's contradicting Matthew 28, where they just told the disciples, which of course can refer to the 11 and all the rest. So that's kind of weird. But here's the solution. Here's a solution. They told. Like, how can you say that they told when Mark says they went out and they didn't tell? Well, they had to, or Mark never would have known. Right? I mean, think about this for a second. Does Mark intend us to think they never told anyone, not even me? I only know about this because of God's, revelation to me. Does Mark write that way? Mark writes as the account of Peter communicated to Mark and faithfully recorded. So it writes as factual, historical, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, eyewitness accounts. It's not written as a revelation of supernatural knowledge. So in context, Mark should be read to say, well, they obviously told someone eventually, or he wouldn't know that they even knew. It'd be secret. So how do I reconcile then Mark 16:8? Here's what seems to be the case. They didn't tell anyone while running back to town. They didn't run out and proclaim it to everybody. They ran just to the disciples and they told them. That was it. They go straight to the disciples, they tell them, and then the account, of course, spreads. And then from there on, there's an appearance to the disciples, and then appearances to other people, and they start telling everybody. But the women were the first ones to see Jesus. So just to be clear, by Mark 16:8 in context, it's rational to say he doesn't mean they never told anyone ever. So then what does he mean? Well, as you harmonize these accounts, it seems reasonable to say they heard the account, they witnessed the risen Christ, and they ran, and they were great fear and astonishment, so they ran through town, passing everybody by, not telling anybody else until they got to the disciples. That seems to be the case. This, I think, is one of the more difficult supposed contradictions, and I don't think that it should undermine somebody's faith in the Word of God. I don't think it should be seen as bold contradiction, because we have contextual reasons to not take Mark's statement as a universal, eternal, never told anybody.